Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review, specifically another WrestleMania review. Even more specifically than that, the final WrestleMania review for the month of March, heading into April. At least excluding WrestleMania 41, which is coming up in about a week, which, man, it's crazy to think we're only a week away from WrestleMania. I am hype, I am excited, I am ready to go. But that is for later on. For right now, it's time to look at the conclusion of the Rock Austin trilogy. One last ride, one more ride, as The Rock once again, for the final time, takes on Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 19. Now, of course, as always, I'm not professional wrestling reviewer or analyst or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time, and I would say I had a pretty good time watching this match, Yeah, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you can already know how this works. If you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about the matches. But how did we get here? Well, there's technically two ways that we got here. The first is that The Rock had turned heel. He became Hollywood Rock. It was actually the feud with Hogan, which we kind of looked at last time when we reviewed The Rock versus Hulk Hogan at No Way Out 2003. If you haven't already, go check out that review. It was actually that feud where The Rock turned heel. He came back after SummerSlam. The last time we saw him was in the Brock Lesnar match at SummerSlam. A match I actually reviewed here on the channel some time ago. Check out that review as well if you're curious. But The Rock is back and he is heel again, and this is what starts Hollywood Rock, where the fact that he had been in movies at this point and Hollywood started doing acting had been incorporated essentially into his character, so he became a cocky, arrogant, annoying heel. He faced Hogan. He beat Hogan at No Way Out 2003. But as it came time for WrestleMania, The Rock chose Austin as his WrestleMania opponent, saying, that The Rock had never beaten Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania, which was the case. Of course, they had previously faced at WrestleMania 15 and 17, and both times Austin had beaten The Rock. So The Rock wanted to get his win back, wanted to get at least one win against the Rattlesnake. But then Eric Bischoff, who was the general manager of Raw at the time, told The Rock that he can face either Austin or World Heavyweight Champion Triple H at WrestleMania. The Rock could face Booker T in a match. Originally, Eric Bischoff had said Booker T, and if he faced him, and if he beat him, I should say, he would face. He would have his choice of who to face. It's either Austin or Triple H at WrestleMania, which is weird considering The Rock already said he wanted to face Austin. But nevertheless, The Rock said he would pick his own opponent, and so he figured he'd get an easy layup win. So he picked the Hurricane. This was actually the feud between The Rock and Hurricane. I forgotten this was the time frame of that feud. Pretty fun feud. Pretty rare, I would say, to have like a kind of like a comedy. I don't necessarily want to say jobber, but more of a strictly comedic wrestler, not really in the main event scene, going against the main eventer like The Rock. Even more rare for that person to beat The Rock. That's right. So, Hurricane rolled up The Rock after a distraction from Austin. So, the Hurricane actually got a win over The Rock, which is absolutely crazy to think that Hurricane has a victory over The Rock, to the point where even Hurricane brought it up recently. He kind of talking about Cody's feud and kind of referencing it as Cody started feuding with The Rock, and then brought it up again kind of when Cody started his feud with John Cena this year. Hurricane brought up how he and Cena met at the Rumble in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So Hurricane does have a win over The Rock, which is crazy to think about. But nevertheless, so Rock is indeed going to face Austin at WrestleMania, and it was also this time that the Rock concerts were introduced. It was after Austin was barred from the arena, so that was our first exposure to the Rock concert, and where Rock would come out, he'd have the guitar, or he would sing to the audience, kind of insult the audience. It would be done on by other superstars, including notably Elias, now Elijah in TNA. But when Elias started doing it, but The Rock was doing the Rock concerts, and it was at this time that we realized The Rock actually has a pretty decent singing voice. But nevertheless, so it's going to be Rock versus Austin one more time. Will The Rock get his win back at WrestleMania? We will find out. But actually getting to the match, starting with what I liked about the match, I think this one kind of falls into the kind of does, I would say, kind of what the match at Mania 17 did, where it's not just a crazy brawl all around the arena like 15 was, but it was more told in the ring. Rock's shtick throughout is pretty funny, including him putting on Austin's vest, which was pretty funny. Him putting on Austin's vest. Both men, and it's really showing kind of a lot of the best beats of both men, including The Rock hitting a stunner, and Austin actually hitting a rock bottom. So it was kind of showcasing that from both men, showing how badly either want to win it, and having that fight feel a little slow to get off to slugging, unlike 15 and 17 where it was right away. This one they took about like 5 extra seconds. That's what I mean by slow to it is it was more 5 seconds as opposed to right away. But we do get that right as the match begins. Ultimately, The Rock nailing not 1, not 2, but 3 rock bottoms on to Austin in quick succession, and it was I think it was supposed to be very dramatic and very much like a big moment and a big crescendo to the match. But it was also kind of funny. Rock nailing the rock bottom, pinning Austin getting up, which the near falls and everything it did add that extra bit of excitement to it. But the Rock nails rock bottom. Austin gets back up. As soon as as soon as Austin kicks out, Rock waits for him to get back up. It just does it again, and Austin gets back up, and Rock just does it again, and then the last one is the one to put away Austin. So then The Rock does like a little chest tap to Austin as he's down, kind of his way of thanking him. Now this was another Mandela effect. 2 videos with a Mandela effect in a row. 2 matches. I remember Rock and Austin shaking hands in the ring, but maybe I'm confusing it with McMahon, because that did happen at WrestleMania 17 with Austin and McMahon, and I thought Rock and Austin shook hands in the ring like after the match, but I guess that was not the case. But Rock did show his thanks, and Austin kind of gets a moment to walk off into the sunlight. I forgot to mention this was recently after Austin had came back as well, after refusing to face Brock Lesnar in a match in the King of the Ring qualifier. So the story goes, Austin was supposed to face Brock in the King of the Ring qualifier on Raw, and was supposed to put over Brock, but Austin didn't want to do it, mainly because he felt like giving away a match like that on free TV instead of pay-per-view would have been a bad move. So Austin essentially left the company. In the words of JR after they buried the crap out of him on commentary, is that Austin took his ball and went home. But now that Austin is back, Austin finally gets his proper send-off, and this was Steve Austin's last match. The Rock would only have a few more after this match. He would go on to face Goldberg, then he would take some time off. He would come back around when Mick Foley needed him, so he was at WrestleMania 20. But this was Austin's final match, at least up until WrestleMania 38, when he faced Kevin Owens. But this for a while, this was Austin's final match, and I would say hell of a way to go out. battling and losing to one of your biggest rivals. He would have like a farewell speech at like Survivor Series 2003 later on in the year. Austin would come back. He'd kind of be more in the background as like co-GM and everything when he was feuding with Eric Bischoff later in the year. But in terms of match wise, Austin, this was it for Austin, and which was kind of telling considering on his vest he had the OMR for one more ride. So it was very much one more ride for Austin. Rock gets his win back. They had a pretty fun match, and both men essentially, in a way, kind of get to have their moment and walk off into the sunlight. Rock obviously would have a couple, like I said, would have a couple more matches. He'd be more so gone by 2004. He'd come back for like Hall of Fame and stuff. Would come back like officially like as an on-screen character by 2011, and when he was guest host for WrestleMania 27, and they did the Rock versus Cena feud. But yeah, this was kind of it for both men, and I think having it end here in this way, I think was really well done. In terms of what I didn't quite like as much about how the match will be talked about in just a moment. Alright, so sorry about that. I had to step out for a second. But in terms of what I didn't quite like about the match, it did kind of feel like something was missing. Maybe it's because we've seen this match twice already, at least at WrestleMania, so that might be a possibility, and so they kind of already played all the beats. It does have like a lot of the storytelling and kind of drama that the second match had, but it definitely felt like a little bit was missing there. Maybe it's the fact that there wasn't like a twist like with the last match where McMahon showed up, interfered, and Austin turned heel and everything. But it did feel like something was missing. It felt like it was missing a little bit of that oomph, or a little bit of that pump to it. Maybe it's the fact that this match, unlike the previous two, weren't for any championship, really. The previous two, of course, were for the WWF Championship. This time, no championship is on the line. The WWE Championship is actually in the main event with Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle, which I don't know if I said this on air. I erroneously said that Brock Lesnar broke his neck when he did the shooting star press against Kurt Angle in that match. My mistake. I said it. I looked up the actual reason, and it's haunted me, or what actually happened to Lesnar, and it's haunted me ever since. So I want to make a quick clarification. Brock didn't break his neck. He actually got a really bad concussion, which is definitely, it's better, but not by much. Which I imagine still really messed him up, obviously. But but this one I think lacked a little bit of that oomph to it. That and the fact that having it end in such quick succession, like Rock has delivering rock bottoms until Austin stayed down, it adds that element to the match. It adds that element of that drama and that storytelling to the match. But it is also a little bit weird that Austin he tried to find out the second rock bottom. He still delivered it, and then the third one just goes off without a hitch. Like I wish they did a little bit more in between each to kind of add more of that depth to it. The ending I think did fall off a little bit, at least for me. Yeah, but it's still a really fun match, really good match, and a really great way to cap off the trilogy. If I had to rank all three of the matches in order from quote unquote worst to best, or at least favorite to favorite. For least favorite, I will probably go with WrestleMania 15. And I think by 17 and 19 is really when they got the formula down packed for what they want the match to be. And then in the middle, I think I'd go with this one. I'd go with 19. Kind of definitely an improvement, I would say, to 15, but I don't think it was better than 17, which I think was the best. I wonder if the added twist of McMahon and showing up, Austin turning heel and everything, or the fact that this one I'm reviewing, that being 19, didn't have a championship on the line. I think both of those might kind of sway me towards putting this one in the middle and then putting WrestleMania 17 above it. That and WrestleMania 17's match between these two was phenomenal, but still a really good match here. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this trilogy if you are interested. But that is going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I was going to try to do some takeover reviews who's in the interim up until WrestleMania, but I don't think I'm going to do so because I've already done a bunch of reviews, and I'm kind of reviewed out in a way, which is why after WrestleMania 41, I'm going to take a little break from reviews, at least for like probably a few weeks or so, kind of to recharge, but we definitely will be back in time for Awful Month in May, so stay tuned for that, but of course, we do have a couple more reviews that I have to get out, the first being AEW Dynasty, that will be going up later on today, and lastly, when it happens, WrestleMania 41. After that, I'm not gonna do any reviews up until Awful Month. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on those post notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you never miss an upload. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the match, my review of the match. Do you like the match? Do you like my review of the match? Let me know. And what is your favorite and least favorite matches in the Rock Austin trilogy? And is the Rock Steve Austin trilogy one of the best trilogies in WrestleMania history? Please let me know in the comments. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.